Hello, YouTube. I truly believe it's one of the most important videos I've ever made because of the end times that we live in and what's going on right in front of us. In Genesis chapter 6, it's talking about the flood of Noah and what happens right at the time of the flood. And Jesus said in the Gospels that just like in the days of Noah, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man, meaning his return. In Genesis chapter 6, if you read it, it says, "And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, the daughters were born unto them, that sons of God," that's the angels, and specifically fallen angels in this passage, "that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all they chose," meaning fallen angels came to the earth, and they took wives, and then they had offspring. Verse 3 says, "And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown." Now notice that. These fallen angels had babies with human women, and the offspring were men of renown. That's very important for what I'm about to talk about. Talking about Barack Obama. And I think that after seeing what I've seen in the Bible and the Hebrew words about his name and things like this, I think 100% positive Obama is the Antichrist that is here to have everybody take the mark of the beast, to make war against the saints and make war against Jesus Christ. Now, why do I say that? I say that because of things his name means, okay? Now, if you look in Strong's dictionary, okay, this is really important because you need one of these, okay? You also need a good English dictionary. Strong's Concordance. If you don't know what one of these is, what this is, you need to know what it is. It gives you all the words in the entire Bible, gives you every time the word is used, and gives you every verse that particular word is used. Say, like if the word love is used 116 times in the Bible, it tells you all 116 verses that the word love is used, and then it has a number at the end of the sentence where it's telling you the verse, and the number corresponds to either the Greek or the Hebrew dictionary in the back of the Strong's Concordance, so that you can know exactly what the original Hebrew and Greek means when the Bible was first written. So it's very important. You need to buy one. All right. So, Genesis chapter 6, you have men of renown that were the offspring of fallen angels. Barack Obama. There's a reason why he has such a stupid name. Okay? It's because God is telling us who he is through his name. In Strong's Concordance on the back, you have 3 words, reference number of these 3 numbers right here. Okay? If you look them up, number 1116, it's the word Bama, and it means high place, worship, shrine, an elevated place, often artificial, for the worship of a god. Heights, high places, high place. Okay. And then 1117 means it's Bama, high place. Then in 1120, it's Bamat, and the reason I list that one is because 1116 tells you that the word Bama comes from number 1120, and it's Bamat, and it means Bamath, high places for cultic worship, Bama Baal, high places for Baal worship. Okay, so, and it's saying that the name and the word Bama comes from the word that means high place of Baal worship. And if you look in Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 29, you read that verse and it shows you that where Israel committed idolatry and worshipped Baal as the high places on top of hills and mountains, they'd set up altars and give drink offerings to Baal. It's in Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 29. These high places were called Bama. Okay, you need to look that up because it's very important. Okay, now, remember I read to you in Genesis 6, the men of renown. Okay, well, got a couple more reference numbers to show you. These reference numbers right here. Number 1966, 1984. If you look in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12, it talks about Lucifer there. It's the only time in the Bible the name Lucifer is used. And it's talking about the devil. And if you look up the Hebrew word for Lucifer, it gives you the number 1966. You look that up and it tells you this is what it says. Lucifer is not a Hebrew word, it's Latin. It says that it comes from number 1984. That's why I list this here. But 1966, I'm going to read it to you. It says, from the base meaning shining one, this refers to an object in the night sky, often translated morning star, and possibly referring to planet Venus. Okay, and people out there that think that there's nothing wrong with sports, the word win comes from the word that means Venus love charm, because people that received this Venus love charm it meant that you sought after the victory in sports the way people seek after women and sex. And you can look that up because it's the truth. So anyway, it says possibly referring to planet Venus, figuratively used as a title of the king of Babylon. Barack Obama is the leader of Mystery Babylon the Great, the United States of America. The Latin Lucifer also means shining one and has become a title of Satan due to a traditional quotation of the king of Babylon with the devil. That's in Isaiah 14:12. So, the leader of Babylon is Satan. You have Barack Obama. Obama means high place of the worship of Baal. Okay, and remember in Genesis 6, I read to you that the offspring from fallen angels were men of renown. If you look in number 1984, like I showed you, that's where the word for the name of Satan comes from. And it's actually in 1966, it's the name Hellel, H-E-L-E-L. That's the real name of Satan, is Hellel. Then if you look up 1984, it's the word H-A-L-A-L, Halal. And it means to be arrogant, to praise, give thanks, cheer, extol. And if you keep reading, it also can mean to make a fool of, mock, rail against, because it's talking about mocking God. Rail against, to be praised, be worthy of praise, be of renown. Notice that, be of renown. So the base word for the name of the devil means to be arrogant and be of renown. And this is significant, okay? Because Genesis 6 says offspring from the fallen angels with women were men of renown. All right, now, where it really gets interesting with Barack Obama. In these numbers here, 1299, 1300, and 1301. 1299 says Barak, to flash lightning, cast forth lightning. Number 1300, Barak. They're spelled a little different, but they're all Barak. It says lightning bolt, flash of lightning, lightnings, glittering, lightning, bright, cast forth lightning, glittering sword. Now that's significant because in book of, I believe it's Ezekiel, God says that he will use Babylon as a tool of judgment against Israel, and that the king of Babylon would be as a glittering sword. Okay, later on, I got to go to work here in a few minutes, but later on today, I'll put the verses up about this glittering sword. Okay, because it's early morning, I got to go to work in a few minutes and I don't have much time. Number 1301, Barak means lightning, and it says that cross-reference 1299, which I already read to you, which means cast forth as lightning. In Luke chapter 10, verse 19, Jesus Christ said, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Barack Obama's name, Barak, means cast forth as lightning. Okay, so Bama means high place of Baal. Barak means cast forth as lightning. Barak goes along with Luke chapter 10, verse 19, as his name being lightning and cast forth as lightning. Okay, now there's one more. Now these make it really interesting. These three numbers here, okay? In the Hebrew dictionary, 1288, Barak, B-A-R-A-K, means to bless, pronounce blessings, give praise, give thanks, extol, be praised, to praise self. Okay? Now, to be praised. Barack Obama, as soon as he became president, would receive the Nobel Peace Prize for doing absolutely nothing. Now, in March of 2013, he's going to go to Israel, and Prime Minister Perez, that used to be Prime Minister of Israel, is going to give him the Presidential Medal of Distinction, the highest honor they can give him in Israel for doing absolutely nothing for Israel. All right, now, but that's not the main thing. 1288 says it cross-references with number 1289. If you look at that, it says to kneel, an act of reverence to authority, often referring to God, to be praised, to give or receive words of excellence, just like those awards they gave him for doing absolutely nothing. But then if you look right down below that, 1290, this one really proves Obama's got to be the Antichrist. It says Berek, B-E-R-E-K, and it says it comes from number 1288, the first one I read to you just a second ago, which means to give praise, and it's Barak, to give praise, so it's the same word as Barak, and it says it comes from that, and it means knee, the buckling of the knees, means to falter, implying great fear or despair. To bow the knee means to reverent or submission. If you look in Romans chapter 11, verse 4, God says, I have reserved 7,000 people in Israel who have not bowed the knees to Baal. And that connects to the name Barak. God bless you.